Hello, what is up guys? It is I, Ruko, and today I'm going to be showing you a very interesting deck that I haven't seen anyone push to its fullest potential. This is probably the weirdest deck I've ever done. It's all for one and one for all. Nearly my entire deck is made up of one-cost units. The champions in the deck are Fizz and Teemo, but pretty much the only reason for that is because they're one-cost units, which actually tricks a lot of people because when they see the Teemo in the deck, they're thinking, oh, this is a Teemo deck, and they go for him. But what they fail to realize is that this is the real champion. This is the real champion in the deck. This is the card that makes this deck possible, Professor Von Yip. When you summon a one-cost ally, granted +2/+2. So you summon this, then you swarm the field with your other one-cost units, especially your elusives, because once you gather a lot of those elusive one-cost units, like the Daring Poro and the Prowling Cutthroat, and Teemo too, and Fizz, actually, oftentimes they get really strong up to a point where even if the enemy has some kind of like defense against elusive units, there will just be so many of them that it won't matter, that they'll just cruise on through. Most often, victory in this deck is 2 or 3 elusive units crushed through the enemy's defense, and they're up to about 5 attack power. Now, Teemo is usually the best candidate for this because in addition to actually attacking the Nexus, he also plants Poison Puff Caps. Another extremely important unit is the Jagged Taskmaster. Plunder, grant one-cost allies everywhere, +1/+1. So effectively, you use the Jagged Taskmaster and the Professor Von Yip to buff up the one-cost units as much as possible, and then you just summon a swarm of them to overwhelm the opponent. And we also have some other cards to augment this playstyle. Suit Up lets us buff one of our one-cost units to 4/4. This is especially good if you haven't been able to summon Professor Von Yip yet. And the Hextech Transmogulator is either you can use it as like a oh shit device because you haven't been able to summon Professor Von Yip, nothing's going right for you, so you can kind of just like steal one of the enemy units. Or what you can do is if you already have a Professor Von Yip on the board, you can multiply him by transforming one of your one-cost units into a Professor Von Yip. So this is usually what a game will look like. You attacking first is the best option, because that means you'll have one of the elusive units, Teemo, Prowling Cutthroat, Daring Poro. You'll attack turn 1, you'll save your mana for turn 3, then you'll attack once more, and hopefully you'll have drawn a Jagged Taskmaster so you can plunder, and then beyond that, you're gonna try to summon Professor Von Yip at the same time as you have enough spell mana to use a card like Scrapdash Assembly or Double Trouble. And at that point, you're really well set up to win the rest of the game. It seems like no one else online is trying to make this deck work, which makes it extra exciting. So, TLDR, weak, alone, strong, together. A Control Lux. That's interesting. So, in a lot of cases, my deck beats control decks. I'm really good early game because I can summon tons of one-cost units, and I have a lot of early momentum. But the problem is, these kind of decks often have tons of card removal, meaning that he can very easily just kill Professor Von Yip, for example, when he comes onto the board, if he has some kind of card removal, like Thermogenic Beam. Yeah, and the Mystic Shots. The Mystic Shots aren't too bad, though, because Professor Von Yip has 3 HP. But it's still unfortunate. This is fine, though. We don't do anything. We save. We can activate the Jagged Taskmaster almost whenever, because our deck has so many elusives. If we only get one chance to use Professor Von Yip, then I'm gonna take the chance. We don't necessarily even need to attack yet. We can just sit back. Well, we can attack with the. There's no point in not attacking with the Prowling Cutthroat. But we can just kind of build up our board for now. Okay, so actually, this is really good for saving the Professor Von Yip if he uses something like Get Excited. So I'm actually very happy to get this. Is it it's actually gonna happen. Wow, it's actually gonna be useful instantly. Cool. That's fun. Now he's either gonna be forced to use another card to kill me, or he's just gonna have to give up on it. Which it looks like he's just gave up on it. Very good. Very good. Now, actually, at this point, we can start rushing him down, pretty much. He wants to build up, and we wanna go hard. Yeah. Let's get it. What are you gonna do, huh? Oh, that's what you're gonna do? You're really gonna kill the cute scrap cuddlers? Scuttlers? You monster. How could you? By the way, there are many different variants of this particular deck. This Hapless Aristocrat, for example, is the single best What is this? Discard your hand and deal 3 to... Okay, fine. I accept. It's one of the best 1 mana cost units that can be buffed up. Because once it dies, it also summons a Spiderling, which can also be buffed to get stronger. But unfortunately, it won't get buffed if there's no Professor Von Yip. But I would say that we are in a pretty decent position right now. I will wait to summon Teemo, because he can just kill the Teemo instantly if we just summon it normally. Okay, pick a card is really good here, because we can use pick a card and hopefully draw another Professor Von Yip. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. We have a decent board, but it doesn't mean anything if we can't upkeep it. Yeah. Okay, but that's not an issue. But he probably... No, he doesn't have to. He just has the 1.
My shield is yours.
Okay, that's fine. Sure. But you've played your hand, so... I'm a bit mad because that was the only elusive card I had. But really, it's not an issue once I summon Teemo. I'm gonna hold off on that until I see the cards I get. Okay, very good. Okay, well, we want to do this. No, well, this. We want to summon the Teemo that is going to disappear next turn. Check it out. This is the same thing that happened in the beginning of the game. We just save him with the suit up. It's so good in this deck. So good. Beautiful. Yeah, I think we even summon this, because that's just extra damage. Why not? Get some extra mushrooms. Now I don't know how much these are gonna do. I mean, if we're lucky, it'll get a few kills. Why not? It's fine. It just means someone has to block it, no matter what. Yeah, this is really good. Even once they're all dead, we can still double trouble and get some units on the board. So this is a very advantageous position. The funny thing is, most of these units I got in like 1 round. From a double trouble and then a scrap dash assembly. And then right after that, if I remember correctly, the Professor Von Yip just died. Just look at my position. So good. And because of the Jagged Taskmaster, I'm still getting the buff. So, regardless of like, if I have Professor Von Yip or not, the Jagged Taskmaster buff will stay forever. So we can still rush down as if we're like Spiderlings, right? This is your Deus Ex Machina. But you know I can just block it with 1 unit. So, what's the point?
Where do you stand on cold shock?
The army is bearing down upon you. No? Sorry, you don't get to attack me. That's not how this works. Those are not the rules. Beautiful. Actually, just in case. Yeah, GG. Good game. Wow. I don't know how long that was, but it felt short. It felt like it was over pretty fast. It was a pretty convincing takeover near the end there. Okay, so Yasuo and Lee Sin. So Lee Sin levels up with spells, and Yasuo levels up by stunning. So the logical conclusion there is that you're gonna have a lot of spells that stun. We'll see if that checks out. This is a terrible opening draw. We want an elusive unit on turn 1. I'm gonna summon the Fizz just because it gives us a chance to attack. And sometimes those early Nexus damages actually lead to a victory.
Think you're fast? Cute. Pick on someone your own speed.
This might actually work out really well because we can use the Hextech Transmogulator to make to reproduce basically the Professor Von Yips, or to duplicate, rather. It's the right terminology. Obviously, we can't do it right now, so next round we're gonna have 4 mana and 3 spell mana. So we'll be able to use the Professor Von Yip, and then we'll be able to use the Double Trouble, which will summon 2 buffed up units. Yeah, that's fine. I won't attack. I'll wait for the Professor Von Yip. It seems to me like, oh wait, maybe I'll just. I can just summon 2 actually. This is really good, and it's my turn to attack next turn. So this actually works out very well for me. We can summon the Double Troubled and then the Pool Shark. We can dump the Fizz for now. Yeah. This will basically free up space for us to summon everything that we need to summon next turn. This is gonna be a really great turn. As long as he doesn't kill me for somehow. Depends on what kind of cards he has. He shouldn't have anything to kill me. to kill my Von Yips. Yes. Here we go. Okay, but he probably has Deny. So that's probably something he has that he plans to use. Or he doesn't have Deny. I wonder if the Omen Hawk buffed my top 2 units in my deck. Actually, the Affectionate Poro Challenger, that's amazing. Not gonna lie. That is amazing. This is a great opening. Such a good opening. I mean, it's not opening, it's like... it's like 5 rounds into the game, but it's still amazing. We might even be able to kill the Yasuo. Or should we focus the Blade? Maybe we don't focus the Blade Twirler. I think the Yasuo is more important because the Yasuo can just sit back while the Blade Twirler actually needs to attack. And also, in a situation where the Blade Twirler gets really out of control and gets super strong, we can transmogulate him. Make another unit. He's thinking real hard. Goodness gracious. Hard Underblade, that's the reference. Okay, pal. That's fine. I think you stunned the wrong person though, didn't you? Yeah, you kind of did. You stunned the wrong person. The Affectionate Poro can challenge you. You do that, and this. Oops, not that. And this. Very powerful attack. But, unfortunately, the stun makes it a little bit more unfortunate, but it is still quite potent.
Oh, it's on.
You could have like a recall to save the Yasuo. 2 mana. Something that's 2 mana spell. Recall might be it. Yep, that's what I thought. Recall. That's fine.
Now who's got the upper hand?
Very good. Obviously, he benefits from it because he keeps the level up. And also, it buffs the Blade Twirler. But, it's not so bad. Summon Yasuo again. That's fine. Do what you gotta do. In fact, I am planning to sacrifice 2 units so I can use this Scrap Dash Assembly. He's thinking so hard about this.
Try to keep up.
It's gotta be one of the Von Yips, right? Which actually, if he does that, we can transmogulate another Von Yip. Not this turn. Oh, actually, maybe I want to keep one of those. Maybe that's valuable enough to transmogulate. What do you think? What do you guys think? Is that valuable enough to transmogulate? Oh, wait a minute. We can transmogulate him into a weaker unit. Yeah, let's do that instead. Pull the fast one on ya. I think this is the better option, because this ensures that the Blade Twirler dies and doesn't get out of hand. Yeah. So funny. Unfortunately, the Scrap Dash Assembly is kind of wasted, but it's fine because we still have lots of great cards here. And if he doesn't block all of this, he just dies. Aww. You're gonna recall him? What am I gonna do about that, huh? So the recall deals 2 damage, and it's gonna kill the Affectionate Poro, basically. So, what I can do is I can transmogulate, again, make him into a Von Yip. So that when it's recalled, it has 1 health, but I get the unit back. And it doesn't die. Yeah, this is great. Holy shit. This is amazing. Okay, we will see the outer limits of what Professor Von Yip can do. We even have PopCap still doing their thing. We got another Professor Von Yip. We have 4! We have 4 Professor Von Yips. We have 4. Wow, okay. This is gonna be hilarious. Okay, I honestly just want to see how bonkers we can make this. I'm just not even gonna care about that. Maybe I do care about that. Oh, he's attacking right now. Next turn is my turn to attack. How much damage can this possibly do? What's the outer limit? Okay, well, he's gonna attack now. Well, okay, I have 2 choices. I either summon the Von Yips or I use the Static Shocks to kill the Shadow Assassin. I think I summon the Von Yips just because it's funny. But I'm a little bit scared that I'm actually gonna get killed if I mess up here. Stun all enemies with 4 or less power. That's fine. I was not planning to... Oh, actually, it attacked everyone? Yeah, it does. But it doesn't kill the Von Yips. Yeah, this is when it gets a little bit scary. Because... Okay, I don't even care about the Teemo getting killed. Oh, that's right, it strikes. Okay. So... Honestly, that was gonna happen regardless. Like, I couldn't have stopped the Yasuo from leveling up. So that was gonna happen regardless. Unfortunately, we just have to deal with that fact. Yeah. Okay, It's fine though. We still have 2 Von Yips, and we can buff the Daring Poro and the Fizz both. We can't get the Fizz to level up though, which is totally a shame. Okay, I'm really sad that we didn't get to go like to the uber max degrees of epicness, but you know, what's it gotta do, right? Oh wait, why don't I just attack the Nexus? Because if I attack the Nexus, then this Daring Poro can't go through, right? Logic, Ruko. Think good, do maths. There is the surrender. Nice, that was great, that was great. I'm really sad that we didn't get to go to the very far edge, but you saw it. We have 4 Professor Von Yips. If we could have gotten all of those Professor Von Yips on the board, we could have had a unit, potentially, some of the strongest 1 mana cost units go up to around like 2 power each. So 4 would have made it 10, and the Jagged Taskmasters, usually you'd have around like 2 at this point in the late game. You could have like a 12-10 unit on the board with Professor Von Yips. But I mean, of course, there are better strategies to make that happen, you know? Honestly, at that point, you would rather just replace the Von Yips with more 1-cost units, but it's fun to think about. But that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. More Legends of Runeterra next week. And if I'm diligent, the Volibear Champion review is also gonna come out this week, so tune in for that. In any case, until then, good night, you sweet bloody bastards. Good night.